Hello students, welcome to second episode of Trigonometric functions. Here in this episode, you will learn how to put the sign in the various trigonometric function, and then we go for question that how to find the values of various trigonometric function. This lecture is very important because here you will learn the basic trigonometry that definitely useful in the calculus as well. That is the very important part of mathematics. So let's start the lecture. So let's start the sign of trigonometric functions. So what are trigonometric function? We have 6 trigonometric function that we had studied in our previous class, that is sine, cos, tan, cosec, sec, cot. So these are the 6 trigonometric functions. So here we have to study that in which quadrant, means these trigonometric functions have different values in different quadrant. So in which quadrant the values of these functions are positive, the value of these functions are negative, that we just have to study. So to make our learning part easier, I have made this diagram so that you can easily memorize that in which quadrant your which trigonometric function will go positive. So in class 10th, what you have studied the trigonometric function only in the first quadrant that lies in between 0 to 90 degree. So here I have drawn the 4 quadrants. Okay, that is quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. The quadrant is same thing that you have studied in your coordinate geometry. While drawing the sketching the graph, what you just have considered that the quadrant that I have constructed. Okay, now suppose I am in the initial point A. A is the initial point. If I move from A to B, I cover an angle of 90 degree. Okay, so I describe an angle of 90 degree from A to B, it's 90 degree. But if I go from point A to point C, means I describe or I cover a angle of, I make an angle of 180 degree. So A to B, that angle is your 90 degrees. So this is your first quadrant, that is from 0 to pi by 2, because pi by 2 radian is the 90 degree that we had studied in our previous lecture. Now pi by 2 to pi by 2 to pi means 90 to 180 degree, that is your second quadrant, 90 to 180 degree. Then comes pi to 3 pi by 2. Pi to 3 pi by 2 means 180 degree to 270 degree. Here when you are in between 180 to 270 degree, just I am adding 90 degree to each. So C to D, its angle is 90 degree. If I travel from A to directly C, I cover an angle of 270 degree. So this is 270 degree. And if I starts from A and again if I come at the initial point again, then I make an angle of 2 pi or 360 degree. This way I am making an angle from here to point B, I make 90 degree. From A to point C, I make 180 degree. From A to point D, I make 270 degree. And from A to again this point A, I make. So your 0 radian or 0 degree and 2 pi radian coincides always. Similarly, if you just go further, so next your if you covers again angle of pi, so here the 4 pi again coincide at point A, your 4 pi again coincide at point A, your 6 pi again coincide with at point A, 8 pi again will be your at point A, and so on. Okay, so you just have to add 2 pi in your each turning, or when you cover from here to here, you will describe an angle of pi. Fine. Now, in first quadrant, your all trigonometric functions are positive. All trigonometric function means sine. If you are lying in between 0 to 90 degree, your all trigonometric functions are positive. Okay. And 90 to 180 degree. If your angle lies, the angle lies 90 degree to 180 degree, then only the sine and cosec are positive, rest are negative. Means in second quadrant your tan is negative. In second quadrant your cot is negative, cos is negative, sec is negative. Fine. So in second quadrant, except sine and cosec, the four trigonometric functions are negative. In third quadrant, cot and cot and tan are positive, rest are negative. Similarly, when you go from D to A, that is in fourth quadrant, then your cos and sec are positive, rest are negative. So if you see your cos is positive, so your cos is positive from 0 to pi by 2 and then 3 pi by 2, 2 pi. Your tan is positive from 0 to pi by 2 and then pi to 3 pi by 2. That is the positive range of tan and cot. Your sine and cosec are positive from 0 to pi. Fine. So here all are positive. If I tell you in which quadrant the tan is positive, so you will tell in first quadrant and in third quadrant, because first quadrant all are positive. So you will say from 0 to pi by 2 tan is positive, then pi to 3 pi by 2 tan is positive. If I ask what happened to tan in pi by 2 when it lies in between pi by 2 to pi. So in second quadrant means in 90 to 180 degree tan is negative. Tan is negative. So in this way you just have to predict the sign of trigonometric function, then in which quadrant your which trigonometric function is positive. If you are able to predict the sign of these trigonometric functions, then the two important thing that you need to memorize this thing, that pi by 2 and 3 pi by 2 means 90 and 270, no change occur, and when you take pi or 2 pi things, change does not occur or no change occur. That the meaning I will tell you later on. Okay, first the thing that you have studied, I am going to start with that complementary formulas that you studied in class 10th. So I am just describing that formula. These are very important. Sine 90 here I just write 90 as pi by 2. So sine 90 minus theta. Sine 90 minus theta. So if your angle is your pi by 2 minus theta, then what do you write in this? So here what you write? Here you write cos theta. Okay, cos theta. Here I just want to say that the sine 90 minus theta is cos theta that you did in class 10. So here what I just want to say, sine pi by 2 minus theta. So this is pi by 2 and minus theta means you are going towards first quadrant, because you are going pi by 2 minus means you are going in this direction, opposite to that of arrow, means you are going to positive in first quadrant. If I say pi by 2 minus pi by 2 less than pi by 2, less than pi by 2 is first quadrant, and if I say pi by 2 plus, then you are in second quadrant. That is need to be understood. And if I say pi minus means less than pi, so you are in second quadrant. If I say pi plus, then you are in third quadrant. If I say 3 pi by 2 minus meaning less than 3 pi by 2, less than 270, means you are in third quadrant. If I say 3 pi by 2 plus, then you are in fourth quadrant. If I say 2 pi minus, 2 pi minus means less than 2 pi, then you are in fourth quadrant. If I say 2 pi plus, then you are in first quadrant. Okay, 2 pi plus first quadrant. So here the change occur because this is pi by 2, so change occurs. Sine converted into cos. Sine here you are converted into cos, and now you have to check whether the sign is positive or negative. In which quadrant you will go when you do pi by 2 minus theta? You are in first quadrant, and in first quadrant your sign is positive, so you have to put the plus sign here. You have to check the sign of this. Similarly, cos pi by 2 minus theta. In which quadrant you will go? First of all, in this here it is pi by 2, means your this cos will change. Your cos will change. And in which quadrant you will go? Cos pi by 2 minus theta. First quadrant, na? In first quadrant your cos is positive, because whenever you do pi by 2 minus, na, you always go in first quadrant, and in first quadrant all are positive, so you just have to put the plus sign. But here the pi by 2 is here, so it changes. So whenever the pi by 2, the sine converted into cos, cos converted into sine. Similarly, tan 90 minus theta. Since it is pi by 2, so tan convert. Tan will be converted into cot, and pi by 2 minus. So it will go pi by 2 minus theta means it will go in first quadrant, and in first quadrant all are positive. Okay, similarly cot 90 minus theta, this is equals to tan theta, and it will go in first quadrant, that is positive. Cosec pi by 2 minus theta, that will go in which quadrant? First quadrant, and cosec will change into sec, okay, and positive, because again it will go in, this will go in pi by 2 minus theta means first quadrant, and in first quadrant cosec is positive. That's why I have put the sign of positive. We need not to check here the sec, we have to check cosec. Okay, now last is sec pi by 2 minus theta. Pi by 2 minus theta meaning first quadrant, and first, since it is pi by 2, sec will convert it into cosec. Sec will convert it into cosec, and since it is pi by 2 minus first quadrant, in first quadrant sec is positive, so we have to put the positive sign. So that what we did, that you have already done in your class 10th, that complementary formula that you have studied already 90, but you have studied only 90 minus theta, not rest of the angle. So here the 90 minus theta meaning first quadrant, and in first quadrant all these are positive, so I put the positive sign, and since it is pi by 2, so this will change. Sine will change into cos, cos will change into sine, tan will change into cot, cot will change into tan, in this way. Okay, now I go in the second quadrant. So second quadrant means pi by 2 plus theta. If it is pi by 2 minus theta, na, then it means we are in first quadrant. Pi by 2 plus theta means we are in second quadrant. So let's do pi by 2 plus theta. So we know that it is pi by 2. Pi by 2 change occur. So this sign converted into cos. Right? Now pi by 2 plus theta means second quadrant, and in second quadrant sine is positive. In second quadrant we know sine is positive, so we put the positive sign. Cos pi by 2 plus theta, how do we do this? Since it is pi by 2 change occur, so this cos converted into sine first. Okay, cos converted into sine. And then we have to check pi by 2 plus theta. Pi by 2 plus theta meaning second quadrant, and in second quadrant cos is, sine and cosec are positive. Now this cos is negative, so we have to put the negative sign here, right? Next, tan pi by 2 plus theta. Since it is pi by 2, change occur. So tan converted into cot. Tan converted into cot. But here it is pi by 2 plus theta, meaning second quadrant, and in second quadrant tan is negative. Fine. Same way, cosec 90 plus theta. Pi by 2 change occur. Cosec converted into sec. Right? Pi by 2 plus theta. Pi by 2 plus theta second quadrant. Second quadrant cosec is positive. Cosec is positive. We don't consider the sign of sec. Cosec is positive. Next, sec pi by 2 plus theta. Since it is pi by 2, change occur. So, cosec, sec converted into cosec. Pi by 2 plus second quadrant. In second quadrant, sec is negative. We have to check the sign for this in that corresponding quadrant, not the sign of this. You will see ki, oh, it's a second quadrant. It's a second quadrant, and in second quadrant cosec is positive. Then why we put here negative sign? So remember, we have to check the sign with this trigonometric function. Okay, the sec is negative in second quadrant. So here we put the negative sign. Okay, the next is cot. Cot, we just left cot. Okay, so cot. So it is pi by 2, cot converted into 10, and in second, pi by 2 plus theta meaning second quadrant. Second quadrant, your cot is negative. Now we will see what happened in sine pi minus theta. If I say what is sine pi minus theta, first you just have to think pi minus theta means in which quadrant we go. So this is pi. Pi minus theta means less than pi. So if you go towards here, okay, towards here, so here it is 180 towards 270. Pi minus theta means you are in second quadrant. Okay, pi plus theta meaning you are in forward direction, means you are in third quadrant. Okay, so how do you do this? Sine pi minus theta. So first of all, it is pi, na? Pi to pi, change does not occur. So you need not to think anything here. The sign will remain sine here. Now you have to put the sign. Okay, so sine pi minus theta is sine theta. It is second quadrant. Pi minus theta meaning second quadrant, and in second quadrant your sign is positive. Okay, now cos pi minus theta. Cos pi minus theta meaning cos theta, because here it is pi. Pi change not occur. Cos remain as cos. Now this is second, pi minus theta means second quadrant, and in second quadrant cos is negative. So cos pi minus theta is minus cos theta. Same way you can do. Okay, all the trigonometric functions you can write tan pi minus theta, change not occur, tan theta. Pi minus theta meaning second quadrant. In second quadrant tan is negative. Okay, same way you can proceed. Cot pi, if you see pi, cot will remain cot. Okay, pi minus theta meaning second quadrant. Second quadrant your cot is negative. Same way you can do. Similarly, cosec pi minus theta, pi no change occur. Cosec, pi minus theta means second quadrant, and in second quadrant cosec is positive. Sec pi minus theta, second quadrant, pi meaning not change occur, pi sec theta as it is, and pi minus theta meaning second quadrant, sec is negative in second quadrant, so we just put a negative sign. So same way, sine, if I say sine pi plus theta. So what you have to think, pi plus theta meaning you are in which quadrant? Third quadrant. Okay, pi minus theta meaning second quadrant, pi plus theta meaning third quadrant. So pi plus theta, now it is pi. Just see, pi, no change occur. So sine will remain as sine theta. Now you have to put the sine. Sine in third quadrant, sine in third quadrant is negative. Okay. Now cos pi plus theta, same way you can do. Pi, no change occur. Cos will remain cos. Cos will remain cos, and cos in third quadrant negative. Same way you can do. I need not to write all the parts. You can do it yourself. Just I am telling you what cot pi plus. So tan pi plus theta. So tan pi plus theta will be tan theta, because pi no change. Tan in third quadrant is positive. So this way you can write the other trigonometric functions also. Now if I say sine 3 pi by 2 minus theta, 3 pi by 2 meaning is 270 degree. So what is the result for this? So how can you check first? First you have to check 3 pi by 2 minus theta will go in third quadrant, because this is 3 pi by 2. If you go towards here, 3 pi by 2 plus meaning, 3 pi by 2 plus meaning fourth quadrant, 3 pi by 2 minus meaning third quadrant. So you are in third quadrant. 3 pi by 2 minus theta meaning third quadrant. So third quadrant, okay, so sine in third quadrant, so definitely it is negative, fine. But since it is 3 pi by 2, 3 pi by 2 change occur. So this will convert into cos theta. This will convert into cos theta, and sine in third quadrant. This is the meaning, this signifies third quadrant. Sine in a third quadrant. So what the sine in third quadrant? Negative. Same way you can do the rest. Just for example, if I just say sec 3 pi by 2 minus theta. Since it is 3 pi by 2, then change occur. 3 pi by 2 change occur. So 3 pi by 2 change occur. So it will convert it into cosec. Sec converted into cosec. Okay, sine converted into cos, sec converted into cosec, and tan cot. That is the interrelation. So now sec in third quadrant, that is meaning third quadrant. Sec in third quadrant is negative. Fine. Same way tan 3 pi by 2 minus theta. Okay. So 3 pi by 2 change occur. Tan converted into cot. Now tan in a third quadrant, 3 pi by 2 minus theta meaning third quadrant. So tan in third quadrant, tan in third quadrant positive. We have to check the sign with this trigonometric function, not with the result. Okay. So here I said that 3 pi by 2 change occur, and we have to think about the sec in third quadrant. So sec in third quadrant is negative. That's why I have put here the negative sign. Next, if I say sine 3 pi by 2 plus theta, how will you do this? 3 pi by 2, change occur, sine converted into cos. Change occur, sine converted into cos. 3 pi by 2 plus theta, which quadrant? 3 pi by 2 plus theta meaning this is 3 pi by 2 plus means you are going towards the arrow meaning fourth quadrant. So you are in fourth quadrant. So fourth quadrant sine is negative. Sine is negative. Cos 3 pi by 2 plus theta. 3 pi by 2 plus theta meaning fourth quadrant, and it is 3 pi by 2 change occur. Sine, cos converted into sine, and you are in which quadrant? Fourth quadrant. In fourth quadrant cos is positive. Here you have to check this sign. Cos is positive. Next is tan 3 pi by 2 plus theta. Cot theta, because of 3 pi by 2 fourth quadrant tan is negative. Next, if I say 2 pi minus theta. 2 pi is this minus theta, meaning fourth quadrant. 2 pi minus theta meaning you are in fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant, sign is negative. Since it is 2 pi, then change not occur, sign will remain as sine, it will not convert into cos. And since it is 2 pi, then here it is 2 pi, the 2 pi minus theta means sign is negative. Same way cos 2 pi minus theta, cos 2 pi minus theta will remain cos theta, 2 pi change not occur. And here what will you do? In fourth quadrant cos is positive, so you just have put the positive side. Tan 2 pi minus theta is tan theta, because 2 pi tan will not convert into cot. 2 pi minus theta, fourth quadrant. In fourth quadrant tan is negative, so you just put the negative sign. Next is sine 2 pi plus theta. 2 pi plus theta means again it go in first quadrant. In first quadrant all are positive. 2 pi sign will remain as sine and all are positive. If you write cos 2 pi plus theta, then it is plus cos theta, because always it go in first quadrant. In first quadrant you know that cos is positive. Cos is positive, and 2 pi, that change will not occur. Okay, why this is occurring? Why that 2 pi in 2 pi change not occur, or in pi by 2 change occur, and why its sign is positive here, cos is positive here? That answer I will give you when I will explain you the range and domain of the trigonometric function, that we will discuss in our upcoming episodes. So before that, you just have to memorize these things, that in which quadrant the sign is positive or cos is positive. That is the important thing that you just have to memorize to go through this trigonometric section part. So that is very important. So this way you can do tan 2 pi plus theta, tan 2 pi plus theta, that will be what? Tan theta only, and with positive sign, because in 2 pi change not occur. So I will tell you that why this change occur and change not occur, that you just have to memorize these things. Okay, because of their value repeats at that on that particular interval, because of that in pi and 2 pi change not occur. So that we will discuss in detail in our upcoming lectures. So the now important thing is that how this trigonometric function varies after a fixed interval, that is 2 pi. So here you will see I have drawn the various angle for the sine function and the cosine function. So if x is your 0, pi by 2 pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi. So here you will see that you have did in class 10 that sine 0 degree, sine 30 degree, sine 45 degree, sine 60 degree and sine 90 degree. So here I have taken the two values, sine 0 degree, sine 90 degree. Sine 0 degree is 0, sine 90 degree is 1. That you did. Okay, that you have done in 10th standard. Now pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi. So you will see again in the value of sine pi is 0, and then sine 3 pi by 2 is minus 1. That definitely in due course of time I will show you this by the graphs also. We will explain you the trigonometric, all the trigonometric function graphs, but for this time you have to focus on this thing. But so what I am trying to make you understand here. So here if you see, your sine function repeats after the interval of 2 pi, because sine 0 is 0 and sine 2 pi is also 0. Okay, so the sine function repeats itself after a interval of 2 pi. Okay, sine 0 is 0 and sine 2 pi is also 0. In between sine pi is 1 and sine 3 pi by 2 is minus 1, because they are just on opposite end. Okay, in opposite quadrant. If it is 1, so then it would be minus 1. That's why. And sine pi is 0. Okay, so it starts from 0. Then again it's 0 for the sine function. Here it is 1, here it is minus 1. For the sine value 0, then 1, then minus 1. Okay, sorry, then again 0, then minus 1 and then again 0. So it repeats. Similarly cos. it's go just opposite of that sine function. So when the sine is 0, cos is 1. Okay, cos is 1, sine is 0. So this way. So here in this way we can do. Okay, so the cos function also repeats after an interval of 2 pi, but the values are totally different. Okay, they are just complementary, you can say, because that's why sine 90 minus theta is cos theta, because they are the complementary to each other. So from this discussion, we can write these two things, that sine 2n pi plus theta or 2n pi plus x is sine x. So if sine 2 pi plus x is sine x, then 2n pi plus x is also sine x. If I say sine 4 pi plus x, then you will just say 4 pi is also here, that is also sine x. Sine 6 pi plus x is also sine x. Sine 8 pi plus x is also sine x. Sine 10 pi plus x is also sine x. So sine 2n pi plus x is sine x. Here you can say that the sine and cos repeat itself after a fixed interval, after an interval of 2 pi. So sine and cos, that you need to memorize. Sine and cos repeat after the interval of 2 pi. Here there comes tan. And same thing valid for sine. If that valid for sine, also valid for cosec, because sine and cosec just opposite of each other. Okay, sine is reciprocal of cosec. So tan repeat after an interval of pi, meaning tan pi plus x will be tan x. Tan pi plus x will be tan x. So tan, similarly, tan 2 pi plus x and tan 3 pi plus x, tan 4 pi plus x, that will be tan x only. Okay, so it repeat after the interval of pi, but sine and cos repeat after interval of 2 pi. The basics things that you should memorize to do the trigonometric part. The one more important thing is sine is a odd function, meaning sine minus theta minus x is minus sine x, and cos minus x is plus cos x. Cos is a even function, sine is a odd function, and cos is a even function. For example, sine minus 30 degree, suppose, so you can write is minus sine 30 degree. But if it is cos minus 30 degree, so you can write this as only cos 30 degree. So that is the important concept. So here is a question: if cos x is equals to minus 3 by 5, x lies in third quadrant, find the other 5 trigonometric functions. So the one trigonometric function is given, that is cos x is equals to minus 3 by 5. You have to find rest of the 5 trigonometric functions, means the value of sine, tan, sec, cosec, like that. So how do we do this question? So cos x is minus 3 by 5 and x lies in third quadrant. So you can directly write that sec will be minus 5 by 3, because sec is opposite of cos, and cos and sec will always remain in the same sign. So they the sign, whatever with the sign of cosec, that the same sign the sec follows, because sec and cosec both are positive or negative in the same quadrants. Okay, so you can write sec. Now your cos is this. If cos is this, if you do squaring on both sides, then cos square x will be 9 by 25, and cos square x you can write sine square x, 1 minus sine square x. So 1 minus 9 by 25 is equals to sine square x, which is equals to, if you simplify this, you will get 16 by 25 is equals to sine square x. By taking LCM, if you solve 25 minus 9, that is 16. Okay. Now, what can you write? Sine x is equals to plus minus 4 upon 5. If you take the root of this, then you have to write sine x is equals to plus minus 5. And but since you have to mention this, x lies in which quadrant? X lies in third quadrant. Okay, since x lies in third quadrant, therefore in third quadrant sign is negative, so you have to prefer the negative sign here, because we know in third quadrant only 10 quad and 10 are positive, rest are negative. So out of plus and minus we choose the minus sign for the sine function. Okay, so the value of sine is fine, is yeah, found the value of sine. Now if you have the value of sine, you have the value of sine and you have the value of cos, so you can easily find the value of 10. So the 10x will be what? Sin x upon cos x, right? Sin x upon cos x. This is minus 4 by 5 upon minus 3 by 5, which is equals to 4 by 3, and that is coming positive. That should be positive even, because your x lies in third quadrant, and third quadrant 10 is positive. So here the 10 comes 4 by 3x. Same way you can find the cot is, sorry, cot will be 3 by 4, that is also positive. Cot is positive, 10 is positive. Okay, so in this way you can, we have found the all the rest of the 5 trigonometric function. So here you can use the identity, the 3 identity that you studied in class 10th. Okay, suppose it is cos, suppose it would be 10, so you can use 1 plus 10 square theta is equal to 6 square theta, or 6 square theta minus 1 is 10 square theta. By using that identity you can go through those questions. Now here you have to find the value of sine 120, cos 120, tan 120 degree, that is asked. So how do you find the value of sine 120 degree? So sine 120 degree, you can write this as sine 180 minus 60. For your convenience, you can write that as sine 180. I can even use sine 90 plus 30 also, but we know that in 90, and if we use 90 and 270 na, the change occur. So if we are using 90 or 270, the change occurs. So better if you just use 180 and 360 degrees na. So here the sine will remain as sine. So even you need not to memorize those things also, so that would becomes easier. That's why I am here using 180 degree. Otherwise I will make this question by that method also, by using 90 the other way also. Just do this first. So sine 90 minus 60, or you can just write 180 as pi. Indirectly you can write like that, sine, okay, sine pi minus 60 you can write as sine pi by 3. 60 you can write this as sine pi by 60 as pi by 3. So sine 90, or here even you can write 60 degree also, that is not the issue. So sine 180 minus 60. So the same way we did sine 180 minus theta. Sine 180 minus theta, 180 minus theta meaning 180 minus theta, we are in second quadrant, and in second quadrant sine is positive, so that will be plus sine theta only. Okay, or even you can just do by that way also. The sine 180, you need not to convert this as sine pi minus pi by 3. So sine pi minus pi by 3 is plus sine, that what formula I have used, sine pi minus theta is plus sine theta, because sine in second quadrant is positive. That the formula I have used. So plus sine pi by 3, so plus sine pi by 3. So sine 60 is how much? Root 3 upon 2. So that is the value for sine 120 degree. So same way, if you need to calculate the value of cos 120 degree, same way you can do. You can write this as cos, okay, cos 180 minus 60, and cos 180 minus 60, 180 change not occur, that will remain cos 60. 180 minus 60 meaning second quadrant, in second quadrant cos is negative, so you have to put the negative sign. The value of cos 60 is 1 by 2, so that answer is minus 1 by 2. Okay, so here which identity I have used? Cos pi minus theta is minus cos theta. Okay, the third is tan 120 degree. How do you do this? Tan 180 minus 60. That is what? Minus tan 60. Tan 180 minus theta is minus tan theta, because second quadrant tan will remain tan. Second quadrant tan is negative. Okay, so this is minus root 3. Okay. So here you have to find the value of sine 330 degree. What can you write sine 330? 360 minus 30. 360, you can write 330 as 360 minus 30. Now use the formula sine 360 meaning 2 pi. What is sine 2 pi minus theta? Sine 2 pi minus theta is sine theta, because 2 pi sine will remain as sine. 2 pi minus theta meaning which quadrant? Third quadrant, fourth quadrant. 2 pi minus theta. 2 pi minus theta, fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant sine is positive, sine is negative. So minus. So here you can write minus sine theta. Okay, here the formula I have used. So after this step will be minus sine theta. Sine 2 pi minus theta is minus sine theta. Theta is 30. So minus 1 by 2 is the answer. Second part, tan 135. So here also I am using 180, because in 180 tan will remain as tan, right? So tan 180 minus theta is minus tan theta, because tan will remain tan, and 180 minus theta second quadrant tan is negative. So this is minus 1. Third is cos 300 degree. So cos 300 we can write 360 minus 60. So cos 2 pi minus theta is plus cos theta, right? Because cos it will go in fourth quadrant cos is positive. Cos 60 is 1 by 2. So that is the value is plus 1 by 2. The important question, you have to find the value of sine 31 pi by 3. How do you do this question? Since it is sine 31, if you just do convert into radians, into degree, so pi by 3 is how much? 60 degree. So this will be how much? Sine 1860 degree, meaning you have to find sine 31 pi by 3 meaning sine 1860 degree. What you have to do these kinds of questions, just divide it by 360 degree, because we know the one identity sine 2n pi plus theta is sine theta, right? That's why. So if you divide it by 360 degree, so you will get how much? Here 60 degree. Okay, so you can write 1860 can be here written as dividend is equals to 3 into 650 plus 60 degree. So this way you can write now. So we can write sine 1860 as 5 into 2 pi, because your 360 is 2 pi, or you can write this as this also 360, or you can write that sine, this is how much? 10 pi, and 60 you can write that as pi by 3, right? So pi plus pi by 3. Okay, so here I have converted all of them into, can be written as 2 pi plus pi by 3. Okay, now we know that sine 10 pi plus theta is sine theta only. So you can write this as sine pi by 3, and which is equals to how much? Root 3 upon 2. Now let's find the value of cos minus 1710. Here you can write cos minus 1710 degree is how much? Cos minus theta, we know it's cos theta. So minus will go out. Okay, now just divide this by 360 degree. Okay, so if you divide this by 360 degree, then how much you got? 41440, that is how much? 72, right? So you can write this 1710 as what? 4 into 360 plus 270, or 4 into 2 pi plus 270. You can write this as 270 or 3 pi by 2. Okay, so you can write this, that is the rough work. that what I did. So you can write this as 8 pi plus 3 pi by 2. Okay. So this also you have to show in your main sheet. Okay. So cos 2n pi plus theta is cos theta. So you can write it as cos 3 pi by 2, and I have given you the value of cos 3 pi by 2, that is 0. So here we finish the very important part from the trigonometric function. Rest part of the chapter we will cover in our next episode. So keep practicing.